Hey guys, welcome to the session. In this session, we'll discuss about layout managers. In the previous videos, if you have observed while discussing about AWT and swing, we have seen that frame layout was null. So we didn't decide what layout frame should have. So let's see what is layout first and what are the different layouts. So layout means it is nothing but arrangement of the components within the container. So in AWT and swings, we have seen that we were adding some components like buttons, checkboxes, radio buttons, and so on. Now, if you add too many components in a frame, then you should arrange them in some proper order. So that arrangement is called as layout. So the that's and in the previous videos we were just adding only one component to the frame, and we didn't mention any layout for that. We just wrote it as null, means it will not follow any layout structure. But you can decide if too many components are there, you can decide in what way they are arranged, in what way they should be arranged. Now let's see in detail. So layout is actually there are so to arrange the components, we will use layout. So but the task of layouting the controls is done automatically by the layout manager. So layout manager will take the responsibility of that, and it is an interface that is implemented by all the classes of layout managers. Now there are five types of layouts that we are going to discuss now. That is border layout, flow layout, grid layout, card layout, grid back layout. So these are the five layouts we are discussing in this session, and they are available in the package called java.aw.border layout and so on. Now let's see in detail. First thing, why we are using this layout? Why not manually arrange the components? If we have only few components, then arranging manually is very easy. But if too many components are there, then it's very difficult to manually arrange them, because it will take some time, and also we don't know the size of each component. Some components will be big in size, some will be in small in size, so arranging will take some lot of time. So to avoid that, we are preferring this layout manager. So this layout manager automatically positions all the components within the container. And one more thing, if we do not use any layout manager, then also the components are positioned by default layout manager. So if you're not mentioning any layout, so by default they are arranged in some manner. We'll see what is a default layout manager. No, as I told, you can do it by hand, but two disadvantages. One thing is you can't handle large number of components or controls, and next thing is you don't know the size of those components in the beginning, and they may change its size in between, so it's difficult to handle them. So these are the two drawbacks. That's why we are preferring the layout manager to arrange the components in the frame. Now let's see. Different components that we are discussing. As I told, we are discussing these five: border, card, flow, grid, and grid back. So let's start discussing these five. The first one we are discussing is border layout. So border layout means uh, it is given the name called as border layout because the components of a frame are arranged in borders areas only, and one in the center. So what are those borders? Just to see here, border layout is used to arrange the components in five regions: north, south, east, west, and center. So all the four borders and center. Now each area will contain only one component. It means that in the north side only one button should be there. Don't try to include two buttons on north side. Likewise, on each side only one component it can accommodate. So on the whole, this border layout can accommodate five components only, and this is a default layout. So we should remember this. If you're not mentioning any layout for your frame or for your components, then by default it will follow this border layout. And this border layout, as I told, it will have five directions. It will provide five constants declared in the following format: public, static, final, int, north, and so on. Now the structure will be something like this. Just observe, you have the buttons on four sides like this one, north, east, south, west, and in the center. So components will be there on all these directions. Only one component will be there in each direction. Now let's see a small program of implementing this. Now it's same like our AWG and Swing, and basically this layout manager is applicable for like swings. You can use it for swings. Now just here. Now I'm just creating the frame f equal to new j frame. In the previous videos, we have seen how to create the frame using two methods, by extending the frame class and by using the object of frame class. So I'm using the second method, that is object of frame class, because I'm not extending any frame class here. So I'm using the object of frame class, that is f equal to new j frame. Now for this frame, I'm adding all the 5 buttons. Those buttons, that is j button. We learned that it is in swing we call it as j button. If you have any doubts in swings and AWT, I refer you to refer those like I suggest you to refer those two videos first, then come to the layout manager. So here j buttons, I'm adding 5 buttons on 5 regions. So for that I'm creating the objects for j button class. So j button v1 is equal to new j button on north side. So your first button name is north, and then second button name is south. Likewise fifth button name is center. So you have just defined the buttons and their names. Now these should be arranged. Now how you'll arrange mean is, B1 is a button whose name is north. So I'm writing like B1 dot B1 comma border layout dot north, means in border layout it should be on north side, and this button should be added to the frame. So f dot add. So we have seen that every component should be added to the frame. So here while adding itself I am deciding on which direction it should be added. So this b1 should be on north side of border layout and it should be added to the frame. So likewise b2 is a button whose name is south, and it is arranged on south side by border layout dot south method uh, in this one. So and that is added to f dot add. So you are adding to the frame. Likewise add all the 5 buttons. Now next is set the size of frame and set the visibility as true, and at the end I am creating the object for my class called as border. So this is how you'll include the j buttons and you'll decide the layout of the buttons. So this output of this is this one only, like north, west, east, south, and center. All these are actually buttons. So I've included all the buttons at the respective positions. So this is border layout. Now let's see the next one, that is flow layout. Flow layout means in the name itself it is there. It will arrange the components in a flow way. So that is, it is used to arrange the components in a line one after the other, like in a flow. And this in this flow layout the components are arranged from left to right side. So it will be like one after the other, from starting from left to the right. So it is a default layout of applet or panel. So just remember, the previous one was default layout of frame or window. So in a frame, by default, if you're not mentioning, border layout will be there. Whereas for applet or panel, the default layout is flow layout. So you have to remember these points. Now next thing is, we'll write a small program for flow layout which will arrange the components one after the other. So we'll just see the output first, then we'll come to the program so that it will be easy for you. So just observe this output. Now here we have a frame. Now frame is not given any specific name. Now inside the frame I have some buttons. These buttons are arranged one after the other. So I have 5 buttons. All the 5 are arranged one after the other, and if you'll observe, all the 5 are arranged as right aligned, means they have shifted to the right side, so they are not left aligned. They'll start from left only, but they are right aligned. So this also we can do in the program. So let's observe the program now. So I'm creating a frame. My frame object is f. Sorry, here my frame object is f. Then I'm including 5 buttons. For that I'm creating the objects for j buttons. So j button b1 is equal to new j button, and the name of the first button is 1. Similarly, button 2 name is 2, and 3, 4, 5. Likewise, I have created all the 5 buttons, 5 j buttons. Now what you have to do is add these 5 buttons to your frame. So for that I'm adding like f dot add b1, f dot add b2, and so on. I have added 5 buttons. Now the next thing is you have to arrange these 5 buttons using the flow layout. So for that I'm also mentioning the alignment also. It should be right aligned. So if you'll just observe the next line, I'm setting the frame layout as f dot set layout, and I'm using new flow layout. So you can write just f dot set layout in brackets flow layout, but what I'm doing is for the flow layout I'm also mentioning its alignment. So for that what you have to do is you have to mention the alignment like this: flow layout dot right. So right alignment, otherwise it will be left aligned by default. So you can mention the alignment either top, bottom, center, whatever it is. So alignment can be decided here. So layout should be right aligned, and this is a new layout where flow layout is right aligned. So that I'm setting as my layout for my frame. So this next is I'm setting the size of my frame and setting the visibility, and I'm creating the object for my main method. So this is a simple program which includes the buttons in flow layout manner. Now let's see the third one. Third one is called as card layout. Now the card layout, it means that the components in this card layout will be displayed in such a way that only one will be displayed at a time. So like cards, if you'll take a stack of cards, only the top card will be displayed. Whereas if you'll remove the top card, the second card will be displayed likewise. So you can't see all the uh, components at the same time, one at a time only you can see that. So that's the speciality of card layout. Now let's see the definition. The card layout arranges each component in the container as a card. Now only one card is visible at a time, and the container acts as a stack of cards. Now just observe this example. Now here I have a frame. Now I have a card here. Only one card is visible. If you want to see the next card, I have a button here. I should press this button. If I'll press the button, it shows the next card. Again, if I press the next button, it shows the next card likewise. So here you are including two concepts. One is card layout. Another one is you have added a button, and after pressing the button, card is displayed. Means some event listener is here, means you are doing some action. When you are doing some action, that should be associated with event listener, action listener. So based on the action, the card will be displayed on the screen. So this is card layout overview. Next example, again about card layout, just observe. Now a card is displayed here. Now on the left side we have some options, like which card you want. Suppose I want to press this jack card will be printed. If I'll press queen will be printed. Means one over the other is printed, but not all on the screen. So this is one more example of card layout. We'll see one example, but before seeing the example, let's see the output here. So if you'll see the output here, we have a frame here. Now inside the frame we have a blue colored window that we call it as pane. Now this pane, inside the pane you will have a card actually. Now this is our card where it is printing some text like apple. Now this is only one value. Now if I'll press again this card, then it should show the next text in this screen. If I'll press the second text here, it should show the third text likewise. So here if I am not using any button, I'm just using only the card as my button here. So means if I'll press on the card, it will show the next text. So this is simple card layout program. Now let's see the program first. Now in this program, if we'll observe, I'm using the first method of creating the frame, that is extending the frame class. So as this is swing, so we are extending the JFrame class, which is also implementing action listener. Why action listener? Because after pressing it is showing some action. So this should be included action listener. So that's why we are using action listener also. So for that, let's see the program now. Now I'm taking three buttons, B1, B2, B3. I'm taking the container card layout example is my main class method. Now inside that, as I told, you have to take a content pane. So content pane is a blue area. Now inside that you will include a card, and card layout is its size is 40 by 30. Now means 40 is horizontal space, 30 is vertical space. Now I'm setting the layout of the card. Means I'm setting the layout as card. So c dot set layout card. So what is c? It is our content pane. So in the content pane you are setting the layout as card, so it will be displaying only one after the other. Now what are being displayed is three buttons. B1 is equal to new J button, Apple, and so on. Three buttons you are going to display, but only one after the other. Now the thing is, when I'll press the first button, that is B1, it should show some action listener. So that action listener I'm adding to that button as B1 dot add action listener. So and for I'm using this operator. This indicates the current button, current what you'll call, um it's like current whatever is, means for all the three buttons I'm actually writing the same action listener. Action performed is same for all the three buttons. So whatever the button it is, it will perform the same action. That's why I wrote it as this. Means you're not writing separate actions for three buttons. For all the three buttons, same actions only you're doing. What is that? Just going to the next card. So that's why I've mentioned this if you write this, it will be applicable for all the three whichever is current. So b1 dot action listener this. So likewise, three buttons have added. Now next thing is, in the content pane, what you have to do is you have to add for B1, what is it you're going to print. So that I'm adding it as A. So next is for B2, B. Next for B3, it is C. Means the text, whatever you want to display, that should be added to the button. Now next thing, yeah, just observe this code. In the action performed, we have attached action listener here. So action listener means it should perform some action when action happens. So what action it is performing means, just simply it is saying that card dot next C. So in the content pane, whatever is the next one, it should be displayed. That's it. So means if I'm at B1, if I'll just press that, it should display the next one. If I'm at B2, if I'll press, it should show the next one likewise. And then I'm creating the object for my main class card layout example, and card layout set size I'm mentioning, visibility, and default operation on exit is close. So this is about card layout. So this is how your output will look like. Now let's see the grid layout. Grid layout will arrange the components in the form of a rectangular grid which will have some number of rows and columns, and in each uh, grid area will display only one component. Like, just observe this window here. It has like 3 by 2, 3 rows by 2 columns, and in each area you have only one button. So this is grid layout. Now let's see one small example. So before going to the example, let's see the output here. Just observe here, we have a frame. Inside the frame we have 9 buttons, and these 9 buttons are arranged in the form of a grid which has 3 rows and 3 columns. So now let's see how it is implemented in the program. Now let's see the program here. I'm creating a frame first, that is frame is equals to new J frame, and then I'm creating the buttons with the names. So How you are creating J button B1 is equal to new J button. So for the J button class, I'm creating the objects. So how many objects means how many buttons you want, those many objects you have to create. Now B1 is the first button, and for that button I'm giving the name as 1. Next, similarly for second button, name is 2. Likewise, I have created 9 buttons. Now all these 9 buttons should be added to the frame. So for that I'm using the method called add. So add B1 to frame, add B2 to frame. Likewise, so I've added all the 9 buttons to frame. Then I'm setting the layout of my frame as set layout, new grid layout of dimensions you have to mention, means how many rows and how many columns. So we have seen that it is 3 by 3. So you can mention any dimension here. So f dot set layout, that is frames layout, is set out as new grid layout 3 by 3. So setting grid layout of 3 rows and 3 columns, and set the size of your frame, set visibility as true. And then I'm creating the object for my class. So this is a simple example of grid layout. Now, this grid layout is basically used to design simple calculator examples where you can display all the numbers by some simple operations, arithmetic operations. So this is grid layout example. Now the last one is called as grid bag layout. Now let's see what is grid bag layout. Grid bag layout is similar to grid bag layout, but the only difference is in grid layout, all the buttons, all the components will be of fixed size, means will be of same size. So each button will be same with every other one. So whereas in grid bag layout, you have the facility of arranging the buttons or arranging the components of variable sizes. Now, if you'll observe here, the first row buttons or components are of same size, whereas second row are different, and the third row is entirely different than the previous two. So likewise, you can arrange the components of variable sizes in the grid format. So that is called as grid bag layout. Now, let's see the definition. The grid bag layout arranges the components in a horizontal and vertical manner, and components may not be of same size. This is the main speciality. And each grid bag layout object maintains a dynamic rectangular grid of cells. So dynamic means it will be changing its size. And each component occupies one or more cells known as its display area. Now let's see a small program on this. First, before going to the program, let's see the output first. Now just observe here, we have 5 buttons here. Button 1, button 2 are in the same row, and after button 1 you will be giving some space, then you'll go to button 3 and 4, then you'll give the space, and then you'll go to the button 5. Button 5 width is more. So this is our mm, example. Now see the name of the frame, that is grid bag layout example. Now let's go to the program, it will be easy to understand. Just here, uh, my grid bag layout example is extending JFrame. So I'm using first method of creating the frame. I'm extending the frame class. So here, what you're doing is you're creating the object for your class grid bag layout example equal to new grid bag layout example. Now next in the method, I'm just writing. Um, yeah, just here I'm creating the for the grid bag layout. Actually, you have another class called as grid bag constraint. So grid bag constraint is a class under grid bag layout which will mention how to arrange the components, means what are the restrictions, what are the different ways of arranging the components in grid bag layout. So to arrange them in a particular order in grid bag layout, first you should also use grid bag constraint class. So for that I'm creating an object for grid bag constraint. So that object is what GBC. So we are going to use GBC everywhere now. So GBC is a object of grid bag constraint class. Now I'm setting the layout as grid. Now title is grid bag layout example, and then you're setting, yeah. So for every button, you will set the layout as grid bag layout. Now let's see the actual filling of buttons here. Now GBC was the object of grid bag constraint, right? So here gbc.fill is equals to grid back constraint dot horizontal. It means that all those components that we are going to fill, they are arranged in horizontal manner. So like button 1 and button 2, they are in horizontal manner likewise. So constraint is but horizontal. Now how many buttons you are arranging horizontal order means that you are mentioning in the next few lines. So at what location you are arranging means you have to specify y, x and y values, that is grid x and grid y value. So I'm writing gbc dot grid x equal to 0, gbc dot grid y equal to 0 means x and y are 0 means this location. Next is x0 and y1 means this location. Likewise, sorry, x1, y0. Yeah, so here just see grid gbc dot grid x equal to 0, grid y equal to 0 means this location. In this location, what you are writing, you are adding this dot add new button, button 1 comma gbc. So this is a method. So I'm just adding the button to the gbc. So this and this is added to the layout. So this is first button. Similarly, I'm adding button 2, which is at location x equal to 1, y equal to 0. So I'm just adding that button to gbc. So I've added two buttons in horizontal manner. After that, again I'm taking gbc dot fill is equal to grid back constraint dot horizontal means the first two are in horizontal position. Next buttons, whatever I'm going to write, they will be arranged horizontal in the next line. So before arranging the next line, you are giving some approximate space. So that is 20. Then at other location like 0 and 1, I'm adding the button called button 3. Then I'm adding the button called button 4. So these two buttons are arranged in the next line. Next, after that, yeah. Next is I'm just arranging the next one in horizontal, that is gbc dot fill is equal to grid back constraint dot horizontal. So next coming buttons I'm arranging horizontal again. Now here if you'll observe that grid width is 2. So the third button is occupying uh, two columns, so that's why its width is 2. And then add the fifth button to the gbc. Now the set the size of this entire layout, visibility, and default is close on exit. So these are like parameters that you need to give while using grid back layout. So these are the 5 layouts that we have in layout managers. So I hope everyone understood the layout managers in this session. So we have learned that 5 layouts in this session: border layout, flow layout, card layout, grid layout, grid back layout. The default for frame and window is border layout. For applet and panel is flow layout. So thank you all.